Roland Martin.
He's not in Washington, D.C. this morning. This morning, he's in Los Angeles. He went to the Black Film Festival Honors Awards. How was that, Roland?
American Black Film Festival Honors just Friday. Phenomenal night. Honorees. Oh, my goodness. It was, man, it's so early here. You know, I only had 2 hours sleep. Billy Williams, my friend Amari Hardwick, Tiffany Haddish, Ava DuVernay. I mean, it was phenomenal. And of course, it airs on BET. So it was. I mean, it was great. It was great. And Billy D, we 81 in April, looking cool as ever.
He still got it, man.
Oh,
the women still going crazy.
The ladies were still like Billy D. Billy was like, yeah. So it was phenomenal. And so I got to go Canisius College, Buffalo. I'll see you guys this evening. I'm flying out in a couple of hours, and of course, shout out to Fort Valley State where I spoke on Thursday. So looking forward to that. And I hate that I could not be in Atlanta this weekend for Power Rising. More than 1,000 Black women gathered in Atlanta for this organizing conference to talk about not just talk, but also to focus on mobilizing and organizing for the 2018 midterms, various state races, local races, and leading up the course of the presidential campaign in 2020. Joining us is Avis Jones-DeWeever, leadership strategist, and of course, the author of the book, How Black Women Lead. Avis, what's up?
Good morning. How you doing? What's up with you, Roland?
You know, I keep it busy. So I saw the tweets. I saw the photos. I saw y'all Moved to Tears by Cicely Tyson. So Power Rising, what was it about for the sisters who could not be in Atlanta this weekend?
I just have to say, you guys missed it if you couldn't be there. It was absolutely phenomenal, magical, powerful, amazing, okay? This was really a very, very unique gathering of women. As you mentioned, 1,000 Black women from all across the country, all walks of life, all interests, coalescing in Atlanta to develop an agenda to move Black women forward, specifically in 2018 and beyond. And so we were blessed with just history makers like Cicely Tyson and Jennifer Lewis and just amazing celebrities, but also we had amazing activists there like Melanie Campbell, Tamika Mallory, Glenda Carr, women who are engaged in the struggle in every way. And together we really got down to the nitty-gritty of what are some of the challenges specifically that Black women are facing, but also more importantly, what do we need to do to move the ball forward so that we can really continue to help to make sure that our power rises in 2018 and beyond.
Is the greatest money? Is the greatest challenge money?
You know, that is a challenge, but let me tell you, when has that not been a challenge for Black women, and we've made it happen anyway. So I think what's been really great is that we strategized around what are some things that we can do collectively to support each other. So, for example, one of the greatest takeaways from this event was that we developed an agenda. It wasn't just sitting around talking about the problem and pontificating about issues. It was saying, what are we going to each do when we get home to make a difference? And specifically, as it relates to money or economics, one of the points on that agenda is to support 5 Black-owned businesses, to make sure that we are able to sort of collectively circulate our money in our community better. We're not poor as a people. We have $1.3 trillion in spending power. It's all about better managing that money to make sure that it turns over in our community over and over again.
And when you talk about leveraging power, Avis, one of the things that, I've talked about, I talk about my speeches all the time for so long, is that when you look at Black sororities, whether it's Deltas and AKAs and others, I mean, with these huge memberships, and then you talk about ladies of distinction, then you begin to talk about these other different groups that are regional or state or even local. I mean, you're talking about infrastructure, existing infrastructure to be able to build, whether it's giving, whether it's platforms and issues. And so talk about that, how to maximize existing infrastructure versus trying to create something new.
That's such a good point, Roland. Kudos to that point. I mean, we are rich when it comes to organizations that we've had and have been in existence for decades, right? Some a centuries or more, that are already all around the country, worldwide, already doing great things. So really what we need are marching orders and organization and strategy so that we can work collectively together well to move the ball forward more and more efficient ways. And I think what was really great about this gathering and what's great about other activities that I know are moving forward in the future, particularly related to the 2018 election cycle, is that organizations are getting more savvy about doing that. We had representatives at Power Rising that represent a number of the organizations that you mentioned, and I'm sure they left there then with some idea about what can we do better moving forward so that we're not just each operating in isolation, but we're acting more collectively in a way that's going to create better change for us all.
Of course, you were in Atlanta. Keisha Lance Bottoms is the mayor there. You also have a sister who's running for the Democratic nomination, Stacey Abrams, there in Georgia, trying to become the first black female governor in America.
And they were both at the conference.
and talk about not obviously people want to run for Congress, even run for president, but why you must have the folks who are running in these state and local races to sort of create that momentum for higher office.
Yes. I think that it's critically important that we understand that that really politics is about leveraging power, and it's about being able to have control over the purse strings and the distribution of resources. And that's why it's so wonderful to see so many amazing black women running for office or now holding office across the country. As you mentioned, Stacey Abrams, who is currently running for governor of Georgia and who graciously came to the conference. We had actually a fundraiser was organized for her while we were at the conference, would be the first black woman governor in the history of this nation. I mean, let that marinate for a second, right? This is critically important. I believe that in the last presidential election, for example, a lot of us learned a very hard lesson about the difference between perfection and power. And we were looking for perfection, and as a result of not being able to find perfection, we lost power, right? And I think we've learned a big lesson from that. And now we're looking at how can we be more strategic about making sure that we have power at every level of government. And so making sure that black women candidates are supported, which is one of our planks, is a key message that we pushed at the conference and that I know is going to happen moving forward.
Website, powerrising.org. Folks, get more information. Avis Jones-DeWeever, thanks a bunch to the 1,000 sisters who gathered in Atlanta over this weekend.
Thank you.
All right, Roland. Good job.
Perfection over power.